I'm surprised to hear you say that, considering how much you love that jello. But it's precisely because I love jello that I can't eat it every day. Did I already do this? I did already do this, but who cares? It's so it continues to feel special. Special? That's a nice way of seeing it. Yeah. It's just like our meeting right here. This is also special. It might be more special than all our other meetings put together. Really? We haven't spoken about anything important. I'm going to take an earphone out because I can't hear myself. Don't matter. Because it's been such a long time. It's special, sorry for the microphone sound. But even if you say that, I'm leaving in 2 days. I'm not going to have much time to be together. I expect Noelle to be upset by this news. This is our first reunion after 2 years, and I don't know when I'll be able to next see her. Shouldn't that make her sad? Definitely makes me sad. However, Noelle's reply is strange. It isn't what I expected at all. 2 days is still enough. It's plenty. Huh? I mean, the fact that our time together is short, you could feel sad about it. You could get angry, we could cry. But that wouldn't create happy memories. To be happy, you should recognize that's precisely because our time together is short, that it becomes even more precious. Listen to Noella's voice, letting it wash over me like a wave. I think I'm starting to understand. She's doing her best to find happiness in unhappy circumstances. With her way of thinking, she's able to take things that should be sad and regard them in such a way that brings her joy instead. She really is a strong person, isn't she? She's far stronger than I am. You understand what I mean? It might be a little too complicated. Maybe. No, I think I get it. It's like the jello, right? If you can eat the jello all the time, then you take it for granted. But if you only have it every once in a while, it tastes even more delicious. That's right. That's exactly right. Even though I was sad when you left, maybe it was for the best. Best? Yes. That's because it stopped me from taking you for granted. It made me realize just how much you mean to me. Noelle says this simply without a trace of embarrassment. She's never been the type of person to get embarrassed. She just states what she thinks. I only have hands start to get red. I want to reply to her honest feelings. I want to tell Noelle that her friendship, or rather, her presence, her existence, means a lot to me. I might be a little too forward though. Maybe Noelle would read too much into it, or maybe I'm the one reading too much into it. I don't know. But even though I mean it earnestly, I can't help but blush as I say that it's such an embarrassing line. Oh, I was meant to read that out? Okay. I'm just not cut out for flattering ladies. Nothing like my grandfather when he was young. Even though we're related, our blood is completely dissimilar. I guess I won't be honoring my grandparents' request for great-grandchildren anytime soon. What are you thinking about, Etcher? Huh? I blink at Noelle in alarm, my mouth flapping open like a fish. It's fairly rare for Noelle to laugh, so the fact that she started giggling must mean I look exceptionally stupid. Your face is kind of strange color. I'm curious. It's nothing really. Are you sure? I'm sure. I just feel a lot. Huh? But weren't you saying that you were cold earlier? How mysterious. Yes, it really is mysterious. Life is full of surprises. Nellie continues to giggle to herself. Even though the source of her laughter is my own stupidity, I'm not unhappy about it. Seeing Noelle laugh like this with a genuine smile on her face makes me happy too. It takes Noelle a few moments to get her giggles under control. Once they've subsided, she starts to look a little girly, an earnest expression on her face. She looks kinda like a little kid who's just been scolded. I'm sorry. Was I being mean? No, it's okay. It wasn't mean. It seems kinda mean, since you're being so kind to me, and It's nothing, really. But you've always been kind to me. From the moment I met you, it matters a lot to me. It does. My face starts to flush red again. My cheeks burn. At least it's one way of keeping warm in this cold weather, but... Thank you, Achan. Even though I was rude and laughed at you, I'm really glad that you like me. Truly. Makes me feel happy. Then, I start to stammer. I think in this kind of situation I'd look good if I said something cool like, "Don't worry about it, darling. It's fine, baby doll." But that sounds far too sleazy. The mere thought of saying something like that is so embarrassing I think my head might explode. I'm sorry. I'm not good at this, and I'm not cool enough to receive compliments so easily. What an odd thing to say. You're funny, aren't you? I wasn't trying to be funny. Don't worry. I like the uncool you the most. It suits you. That's just the way you are. Oh, thank you. Wait, what? Did you just make fun of me? I'm not really that uncool, am I? It's not a bad thing to be uncool. It's part of your identity. It's who you are. Norley smiles with me with the sweetness of a slice of angel cake. But behind that expression there's something else. Although it looks so pretty deep down underneath all artful applied icing, the cake has started to go stale. She's teasing me, isn't she? Being made fun of by someone wearing such a pure and beautiful expression is pretty depressing. I've been completely defeated. Was that a KO? Yeah. It was a real ring out, with only 10 seconds left on the clock. Was that strong? You really were. It was a powerful technique, completely unparalleled. Yay! You demon! Nellie giggles, her smiling face bathed under the milky light of the moon. Despite our rekindled closeness, I still feel anxious. I'm filled with nervous energy. I don't know what to do with it. My feet start tapping against the floor, my grip tightening around the cold metallic chains that support the swing. Inadvertently I remember Noella's home from earlier when I went to visit. I remember the darkened windows, the gloomy atmosphere, the sale sign in the front garden. What's gonna happen to Noella? Hey, Achan. Noella's voice, soft and gentle, carries through the wind, drawing me out of her thoughts, of my thoughts even. Achan, you alright? Yeah, I'm okay. I was just thinking. What are you thinking about? You look sad. I'm not sad, I'm just confused. Confused? But why? It's just, I went to try and visit your house earlier today. You did? I didn't see you. I know. You weren't in. Your parents' car wasn't in the driveway. Oh yeah. There might have been something like that. And I noticed in your garden there was a sign. A sign saying your house was for sale. Yeah. That might also be something like that. The voice shows off. She doesn't elaborate. Is this something she just wanted to discuss? If that's the case, maybe I should drop it. Talk about something else. Anything else. What else? But just as I begin to open my mouth, unexpectedly Noelle starts talking. She speaks in a rush, not using the typical measured tone so often associated with her. Sounds like she's trying to say something quickly, something painful. My parents don't like living here very much. Even though you have such a large house? Yeah. They thought it would be nice to live in the countryside. Peaceful, but I don't think they're quite impatient people. That doesn't surprise me. I've always found Noelle's mother with her pristine white blouses and brisk attitude a little scary. So, you're leaving? Noelle picks up a loose thread on her dress. I suppose so. Do you know when? Maybe when the house gets sold, or maybe not. It might not get sold. My grandparents said new people aren't interested in moving here. Noelle nods briefly. The expression of her face suddenly seems so despondent, almost entirely devoid of life. I need to say something. How can I cheer her up? Don't bore me further. Ultimately I decided it would be rude to keep asking questions. It's clear she doesn't want me to reply. This seems to be a painful topic for her, and I don't want to poke around inside the wound too deeply. Besides, when I left this village, I never told Noelle I was moving. I didn't have the courage. I got Amu to tell her for me, and I'd already gone, even though those two had never been that close. If Noelle doesn't want to tell me the details of her own departure, that's fine. It'd be hypocritical of me to complain. I have no right to complain. No right at all. So instead I remain silent. I don't say a word. I don't know if I can. Once more silence steals over us like a shroud. All I can hear is the sound of the wind through the trees. I wonder how long I've been out here, sitting on these swings with Noelle. It must have been quite a while by now. My fingers have gotten so cold I can hardly feel them. How could Noelle be comfortable sitting out here like this, wearing that dress? I don't understand. She's always been a mysterious person. Hey, Achan. What is it? I was thinking, as you're only going to be here for 2 more days, do you want to see me tomorrow? I look at Noelle. She looks back at me. Just what was she thinking? What about Amu? 2 days isn't very long, and I already told Amu I'd spend more time with her. But when Noelle looks at me like that with those large eyes, I feel like it'd be cruel to refuse her. I end up giving a vague, non-committal reply. It's too hard for me to say simple yes or no. I don't want to upset anybody. I've always been indecisive like this. That's why I get into difficult situations. Saki's scolded me about it enough times. If you don't want to do something, just say no. One phone call later. It's not gonna kill you, you know. That's what she always says. Anyway, I should try and be stronger. One day I'm sure I'll manage it, but right now... Passion? No. It's not that time. I lie on my futon in my grandparents' home, just as I did the night before. Dimly I feel a vague sense of guilt creeping over me. Saki asked me to buy her a gift, and she asked me to call her. But I haven't done either. I guess I got so caught up in returning to my old home that I haven't had enough time to think about my new one. Oh well, I'm sure Saki will forgive me. I'll be going back in a couple of days anyway, so it's not like we'll be parted for too long. Not like Amu and Noelle. Haven't seen those two in years. Noelle. It's nice seeing Noelle again, even though it was a complete surprise, and I was a little nervous at first. But I do want to see her tomorrow. Do I want to see her tomorrow? And what about Amu? We only have 2 days left. It's not very long at all. The other Amu. Do I need to make a choice? I wish. And yet, despite my constant worrying, the next morning comes inevitably, just as it always does. I'm far too small, far too insignificant to halt the rising of the sun. My minuscule worries have no bearing on the rest of the world, and so life keeps on going. I start to clean around my grandparents' home, dusting the shelves and wiping down the tables. Partly it's because I don't want to help my grandparents, but it would be a lie if I said I didn't have any ulterior motives. Because I want to, sorry. I'm just stalling for time. I'm doing this because I don't know what else to do. As such, it feels a little awkward when my grandfather compliments me for being helpful. It sure does feel refreshing after a good tidy up. Thank you, lad. You're welcome. There's no need for the formalities with me, silly. You're a real help. Of course, I was going to clean up all this eventually myself, but this gives me less work to do. Oh, it's no trouble. You know something? Even though you look so little, Shio was right. You really have grown up to be a fine man, haven't you? I guess it looks like you aren't everything. I guess looks aren't everything. Well, I don't know about that. And modest, too. That's an important asset. It'll make you popular with the ladies. I'm not that popular. Well, you don't see many men quite as modest as me. I'll mark you that. And in terms of modesty, I really am the best. That's why Chio loves me, because I'm so modest. Grandpa laughs, clapping a hand on my shoulder. But you're getting there, so don't give up hope. I feel Every little bit helps. Yes. Aren't you getting tired of cleaning though? No, I don't mind. I'm really happy to help, really. Really? I'm surprised. Why? I thought you'd want to go off and see your friends. You don't want to be shut in here with us old folks, do you? Isn't the air in here too musty? My grandfather smiles and yet, although he's trying to be kind, I start to feel anxious. Does he want me at the house? No, that can't be it. I know I can be annoying when I put my mind to it, but I kind of irritated my own grandparents that much after only one day. He's just concerned about me. He knows my time here is short, so he wants me to make the most of it. I remember, Emma said she had to work at her parents' cafe until 2:30 p.m. today. Even if I went to visit her now, she'd still be working. I could go tease her a little. Maybe I could ask her to service me like a real maid. It might be fun to tease Amu, since she's always poking fun at me. They do say an eye for an eye, after all. Not that I really want to pull out one of Amu's eyes. And then there's Noelle. She asked me if she wanted to go out yesterday. Maybe I could go by her house and see if she's there. It might be a good idea. Though I kept in touch with Amu via letters, I didn't speak a single word to Noelle during my 2 years in the city. We have a lot to catch up on. What should I do? I'm thinking we go to Amu. And so I make up my mind. Although I feel a little guilty about not going to see Noelle, the opportunity to tease Amu just this once is something I can't pass up. She's made fun of me for most of my life. This might be my only chance to return the favour. Even if it does feel a little underhanded. Just you wait, Amu. You're gonna get what's coming to you. You're going to be my maid, and I'm going to make you feed me ice cream sundae from a silver spoon. But the moment I catch myself laughing out loud... Ah! What am I doing? My face turns red. Why would I say something like that? Why would I even think something like that? I've gone mad with power. Yeah. That's right, lad. You have to dream big to win big. And to make matters worse, Grandfather overheard me. Of course he overheard me, if he's stupid to think otherwise. I was laughing in a rather maniacal manner after all. I wouldn't be surprised if half the village were privy to my deviant desires. Please ignore that. Even when I want to embarrass Amu, in the end, the only person I can embarrass is myself. Ugh. I've learned my lesson this time. Instead of entertaining any grand noise notions of cycling all the way to town by myself, instead walk at a more leisurely pace. Even so, it's still exhausting. You have to stop and rest. What? To stop and rest several times at the side of the road to recover my breath. The warm sunshine attracts irritating insects. Flies and mosquitoes buzz around my flustered forehead, exposed forearms. Get away! My forehead feels sweaty. My joints are aching. I really am getting unfit. I've gotten too used to taking in the train everywhere. It'd be so much more convenient if there was public transportation here too. There is a bus that runs between the village and the town, but it only runs once every 3 hours. Not to mention, from what I recall, the bus is old and rickety and smell kind of funny. The patterns on the seats are ugly too, so sitting in the bus makes you feel like you've been sucked into some kind of nightmarish kaleidoscope world. It doesn't help that the roads around here are old and dire need of repairing, filled with bumps and potholes. After walking a little further, I find myself back in town. A small-scale suburban space with modern buildings and actual convenience stores. I used to walk here with Noelle back in the day, so it was say her surprising love of the different flavoured jello you can buy here. That cheap jello was probably her favourite food. Looking back at it now, those deals feel like they passed by a long time ago. At any rate, I need to keep moving. It's 11:30 AM now, and I want to catch Amu while she's still working. I have an hour left, so I'm sure I'll be fine, but I smile to myself secretively, my exhaustion fading. Getting her to wait on me might be a little fun. Hello, sir. Will you be dining alone today? Is there anywhere in particular like to... Oh, it's just you. Oh, and you were doing so well, too. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? I mean, for a few moments, I thought you were genuinely pleased to see me. Amy shrugs. More fool you then. More fool me indeed. It's not like I need to pretend to be super incredibly delirious happy to be working here around you, Rachel. I'm glad you feel like you can be honest with me, but what? It's not like you're paying for my smile or anything, so you've got no room to complain. Amy sounds grumpy. I actually want to take a step back in alarm. Did I do something wrong? It's not that. It's just... I'd appreciate you coming to see me, Achan. Really, I do. But my parents said I'm not allowed to leave until 12:30 p.m. I know that. Amu scowls. Why are you here? Did you come to make fun of me or something? Because I have to work and you don't? I flinch. That might possibly have had something to do with it, but... And takes a step closer to me, glowering. Huh? Is that really the reason? She does look mad. No, I just wanted to, try eating here myself, you know. Emma continues to look unimpressed. I start to worry she might gut me. There aren't any sharp knives around here, are there? Maybe in the kitchen, but is Emma allowed to go in there? Of course. What a stunning lack of foresight. Emma must have access to the kitchen. She's one of the waitresses. If I don't say something smooth, I might get stabbed in the eye. Or eyes. Both of them. With a fork. One with a fork and one with a knife. My very life might be on the line here. I wanted to see you so much I just couldn't help myself. That is something I think of saying. However, isn't that level of flattery just a little bit too advanced for me? I don't think I could pull it off, not even if I practiced in front of a mirror for a century. I'm just not good at saying corny lines like that. Besides, saying something like that to Amma, who's been my friend for so long, just makes me feel dirty. So I don't say that. Instead, I hang my head and mutter some vague apologies for my impertinence. I realize I must look pathetic, and I'm sure that's what Emma was thinking while she watched my pitiful performance. What kind of weird person apologizes to a member of staff for going to eat at their establishment anyway? Might as well apologize for being born. Ah, jeez. It's fine, Achan. Don't make such a big deal out of it. You're freaking me out. I look up at Emma meekly. But you seem so annoyed, so I got kind of worried. It's fine, it's fine. Just kind of irritating working in a place like this. You're not the only person who has the brilliant idea to drop by while I'm working solely to make fun of me, you know? I blink an eye at this. I blink a little at this, surprised. Emma isn't usually the person who lets things get away. She sounds exceptionally bitter right now. Really? Who did that? Some annoying kid at school. Annoying kid? You remember, don't you? The irritating girl with the blonde hair, and that I'm so much better than you attitude. One with the princess laugh who thought she was Marie Antoinette or something. Huh? I think I remember a person like that. Wasn't her name something like Ellie? Emily snorts. I don't care what her name was. That girl dead to me. I thought you two used to be friends. What happened? She went too far, that's why. But too? Ah! Emma glares at me. Her body tenses. I have to remember that knife, which I may or may not be able to smuggle from the kitchen. I can't forget about that knife. Anyway, that girl already pissed me off doing the same thing you're doing. She came in here, ordered an omelette, then complained it was cold and made me take it back to the kitchen 3 times until she was happy. Sounds like a real battle of wits. Pissed me off so much I was literally this close to punching her in the face. At Amu's angry outburst at a table sitting a wholesome looking family, mother and father and their 2 small daughters turned to look at Amu in alarm. Hey, Amu, I understand this incident has annoyed you. Maybe you shouldn't talk about it so loudly. And why not? It made me mad. I have the right to vent. I understand that, but what? But you're disturbing the customers. She pauses, then turns to look around her. As she does, her eyes widen in surprise. I guess she got so caught up in telling a tale of injustice she forgot where she was. Suddenly, shamefaced, Emma flushes red. In a very uncharacteristic way, she bows to the offended family, hands clasped together tightly in her front. I'm sorry. I almost forgot myself for a little while, but it won't happen again. Promise. And with that, Emma grabs hold of my arm so hard she almost twists it and marches me to a table located near the back of the cafe. I know she's trying to hide me away from other customers like I'm some sort of embarrassing skin disease. Now if I was a skin disease, I wonder what kind of... Who wrote this game? The moment she sits me down at my table, she glares at me, slamming her hands on the table front with a thud. This is all your fault! At least she remembers to vent under her breath this time. I never knew it was possible for people to shout so loudly, but Emma has just proven me wrong. Clearly.